see. This will work.
We might be able to set the trophies in front of the, on the sides.
Here. I apologize. I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to set it up. It's not going to work either. Anybody have any suggestion for me before I get into my speech?
Yeah, I can just hold it up.
Okay, just
Yeah,
hold it up.
it's like
Yeah.
a short, like a story time.
Okay.
Story time.
Story
Yeah.
time. How many Coke drinkers do I have in here today? Any?
Just Pepsi.
Oh, a
Coke,
couple
just the
people.
Pepsi.
A couple people. Well, wait till you hear what's all about Coke, okay? Since you had two hands up, how much would you give me for this bottle of Coke? $5? $10?
Not that.
Oh, I'm not
Not
that.
that
Yeah, I'm
much?
not that.
No.
Jen.
Oh my gosh. Well, after this speech today, you may change your mind, okay? I am not a Coke drinker.
Bless you.
But in my research of Coke, finding out some of its uses, I was just amazed at what Coca-Cola has to offer. There's approximately 25 uses that are, that are known and fairly reasonable. But we're going to talk about 10 of those today. Where does Coca-Cola originate from? Well, it was created in May of 1886 by Dr. John Pemberton, who is a pharmacist in Atlanta, Georgia. So Coca-Cola has been around since 1886. And one of the, we're going to go through the top 10 uses. Let me start first of all with a story with someone I know who consumes a lot of Coke. Coke has a new ad, by the way, that's a billboard in New York called "You on Coke." Think about it. Very controversial, okay? Very controversial. What are they saying? Well, my neighbors might be able to answer that question. For the sake of their privacy, I'll call them John and Mary. Been knowing them for 20 years. For that 20 years, they have been consuming large amounts of Coke. Very large amounts. One day, my girlfriend and I, we're going to spend an afternoon together. And as you know from my last speech, or maybe those of you who were here, when I talked about girlfriends and the need to have those extra words per day. Women, on an average, 20,000 words, men, 7,000. So I invite my girlfriend for an afternoon out so I can make sure I can get that additional 13,000 words that I may need. So I go to her house, which is just right next door, Mary. I pull into the driveway. She comes out, she lifts the garage door, and what do you think I see? The whole garage is there's all these white bags, they'll probably be 13-gallon bags, that are filled with something. So she comes out to the car, and I asked Mary, I said, what's on all the bags in the garage? They cover 3 sides of her entire garage. She proceeds to tell me, well, those are the returnable Coke bottles that my husband and I, John and I, have not returned to the store. So I'm looking at least probably $200 worth of Coke bottles. So then I'm wondering, what's in Coke? Well, first of all, it has carbon dioxide in there that's trapped. That's why when you open that up, you hear that fizz. So are they addicted to the fizz? Or is it the high content of sugar that it has in it? So I don't know. But anyway, there's 10 uses that I'm going to name today. Starting with number 10, Coca-Cola, Rust Buster. Did you realize that you could take a piece of rusted equipment from your garage and you could set it overnight in a tray of Coca-Cola and all the tarnish will be, the rust will be removed from it. So number 10, Rust Buster. Number 9, you can use Coke to clean your windows. Who doesn't want clean windows? Who knew that Coca-Cola could clean your windows? Number 8, coming in at number 8, Coca-Cola, you can eat it. Yes, you can eat it. You make a barbecue sauce with Coca-Cola. You can make a barbecue sauce with Coca-Cola. You can also marinate a chicken in Coca-Cola. So it has a myriad of uses, okay? That's coming in at number 8. Number 7, you can use it to de-skunk yourself. If you live in a rural area, a little bit like I do, there's skunks running around. And with those skunks, well, they protect themselves, of course, and they spray you just as a protection device. Well, if they spray you, all you need to do is drench yourself in the shower in a bottle of Coca-Cola. And all you have to do is wait a few minutes. After you pour it over the top of your head, you stand there for a few minutes, and then you turn on the water and rinse yourself off, and almost immediately you will dilute the smell of the skunk from your body. Coming in at number 5, you can de-blacken your pots. Who has ever left a pot on the stove and let it cook too long and the contents of that pan has burned out? Now you've got a black pan. Well, don't toss it away. Get out the bottle of Coca-Cola and wash it away. So you put about 1 inch of Coca-Cola in the pan to make sure it's enough to cover the bottom of it, and turn on the burner on your stove and let it sit for maybe an hour or 2, and then you just wash it as usual, and almost like magic, the Coca-Cola has taken away the black tarnish from the bottom of the pan that you were thinking about tossing. Coming in at number 6, it's a painkiller. For all of you who may be scuba divers or something like this, it'll help you with a jellyfish sting that you may get, and it helps with a possible stomach ache that you have. Coca-Cola will relieve that. It helps with diarrhea. There's a number of things that Coca-Cola is good at, but it does help you with a lot of those painkillers. How about number 4? Clean clothes. Coca-Cola can act as a degreaser to clean that tough stain, greasy grime in your clothes. You just add it to your wash as normal, put in your detergent, along with that can of Coke, and you'll dilute the grease from your clothing. So you see right now how valuable Coke is to you? How about number 3? It kills bugs. Yes, you can put a dish, pour a little Coke into a dish, and set it out in your garden. And there you'll attract things like slugs, any other bugs. They get into the Coke. No more. They don't return. They're done. Coca-Cola has taken care of your problem. Coming in at number 2, use Coca-Cola to heal yourself. It has healing properties. You just sip a little bit of it. It helps you with a sore throat, can alleviate nausea, and any other stomach problems that you might have. Coming in at number 1, this might be a fun one to do over the weekend with your little ones. You can make an explosion out of Coca-Cola. Some of you may have already heard this. I just learned. Take a 2-liter bottle of Coke, add approximately 4 of the Mentos in that Coke, and you create something that will look like this. Yeah. A fountain. An explosion fountain. Well, kids would just love it. Well, most of us adults might love it. So let's just think about it. Let's just look at the fact that if Coke has all these other uses that we could do we really want to consume Coke in our bodies? Or do we want to best leave the Coca-Cola to clean our house, to get rid of our stomach aches, to rid ourselves of our slugs, to clean our windows, and all those other things I mentioned? I, for one, have just learned how valuable Coca-Cola is, and I plan on keeping this baby around my house. It's up to you to decide whether you want it around yours.